82-year-old Leon Sanchez died on Thanksgiving Day. His son says he learned valuable life lessons from him.
We have honor about ourselves, integrity, and what is right is right. He taught us that.
For a decade, former DPS trooper Greg Sanchez was the sheriff in Angelina County. He retired in December. And now the just retired sheriff is speaking out, and Angelina County District Attorney Janet Castles is clearly in his sights.
I think she's in the wrong position. She was a defense attorney, and that's probably where she should have stayed.
He doesn't have a gun on him. He will fight y'all. Please don't hurt him. Don't hurt him.
Sanchez is still angry about the way Castles and the local media handled this incident. The arrest of Mark Anthony Smith in April of 2020. Smith is seen blocking his girlfriend from leaving and brandishing a weapon before deputies got there. But the violent takedown came under scrutiny.
And I knew they didn't do anything wrong. In fact, the man was lucky that he didn't get shot when he grabbed the deputy's weapon.
The deputies were cleared of any criminal wrongdoing, but the grand jury refused to indict Smith for anything.
It was not fair. I was not happy with the DA at all, the way he was handled. It should have went to court.
Castles put the deputies on a blacklist that led them all to leave Angelina County.
And it's a shame the 3 deputies got treated the way they did.
You think those deputies got a raw deal?
I sure do. I back the deputies 100%. They did their job. Was a very dangerous call. Here lately, 5 county officials get indicted with no, and then, a guy that attacks our deputies doesn't get indicted. That doesn't make sense to me.
Sanchez and his deputies have not been involved in the investigations that led to the recent wave of indictments against Angelina County public officials. They are mostly misdemeanor allegations that are rarely prosecuted, but still are making front-page news with mugshots in the Lufkin Daily News.
I respect the court system, and I'm looking forward to those guys going to court and be found not guilty.
The former sheriff includes the Texas Rangers in his criticism.
I have been disappointed in the Rangers. I just still don't understand it. Put it this way, I'm not happy with their investigation.
Former County Commissioner Rodney Paulette was charged with a felony for using county equipment on private property. He's been re-indicted twice. Paulette was a big critic of the DA's budget.
And you think because you said no to her budget, she came after you?
Oh, I think that's got a lot to do with it.
But Angelina County residents should already know the answer to a question we've been asking for months. Both of the properties Paulette is accused of helping had been clearly damaged by bad county drainage or a clogged culvert. And there's been no evidence Paulette had a relationship with the property owners or got a penny to fix the mess the county created. So did he get busted for caring about his constituents?
Rodney supported me when I ran for sheriff. Rodney never asked for one favor.
Sanchez calls the recent wave of indictments clearly political and is now calling on the district attorney to recuse herself from the prosecution and upcoming trial before it's too late. We argued the same thing since last year. Castles tried but failed to retaliate when we did. The DA did recuse in the investigation of now convicted County Commissioner Robert Cheshire. So what's the difference now?
Ms. Castles, how are you?
I'm well, sir.
You think the district attorney should recuse herself from these investigations?
You bet I do. You bet. I sure do.
Why do you think it's appropriate for you to prosecute these cases? Why don't you bring someone in special to do it? Why don't you bring in a special prosecutor?
It seems like a bizarre coincidence that every indictment that's been handed down in Lufkin involves a public official who was in support of a specific county initiative. They all wanted county road work handled by an engineer, not individual commissioners. That would clearly have eroded their power. And Sanchez says he knows who else is part of this campaign of political retaliation.
Well, I want to talk about asphalt.
About what?
Asphalt.
I don't know nothing about asphalt.
This guy, powerful County Commissioner Terry Pitts.
He has caused more problems for Angelina County as long as he's been a commissioner. He has been a failure as a commissioner. And I don't understand why he hadn't been indicted.
We criticized the Texas Rangers for their 2-week-long investigation into allegations Commissioner Pitt's misused asphalt on taxpayer road projects. Pitt's son is a DPS trooper. We've seen the roads that were paved and the asphalt used, and the numbers just don't add up, not even close. The Rangers say they did a, quote, discrete and limited evaluation, whatever that means. Yet they've spent months, more than a year, investigating and prosecuting alleged misdemeanor violations. Even more glaring is the DA's silence after more than $100,000 was spent paving 2 residential streets surrounding Commissioner Steve Smith's house. It appears to be work done around the same time Smith flipped to testify for the DA in the upcoming prosecution of 2 other county officials. No other streets in that subdivision were touched. Why did Smith get that special work done?
How do you think this looks? You're like running away from a simple question about the roads. Don't you think the folks who live in that precinct have a right to know why you got paved roads and they didn't?
The temporary road administrator got demoted for that gift of new asphalt, but does anyone really think he came up with this apparent misuse of tax money on his own? We don't.
How are you?
We have no comment for you.
I didn't ask you a question yet. Are you investigating the Ewell Herald Road issue? Are you investigating that issue?
Sanchez has retired to be closer to his grandkids. Because he didn't trust the local media to do it, he went on Facebook to list his accomplishments in cleaning up and modernizing the sheriff's office. But he wanted to get the frustrations with Angelina County off his chest as he waits for the trials of the public officials he calls friends.
I hope and pray for them. I really do. They're good people.